This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and it is a final victory Monday. It is a victory Sunday, depending on when you tune in to the show today, depending on where you're at when you look at the show today. But the Seattle Seahawks beat the New England Patriots 29-13 in Super Bowl 60, and the Seahawks are back where we freaking belong, and that's as the champions, man. This team is so special, and it means so much to me because this wasn't a team that was supposed to be a championship team. Remember, when I first got this job, this team, we were doing videos about them being the last place team in the NFC West, and I said that was crazy. That was malarkey. I remember saying that I might be biased, thinking that the Seahawks were going to win 12 games. Do you remember that? You might not have been here at the beginning of my tenure as the Seahawks Today host, but back in August, I said that I thought that the Seahawks could potentially get to 12 games. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was crazy saying that the Seahawks could go and get 12 victories. They got frickin' 14. They got 14, man. This team is awesome. This team is so special. It wasn't supposed to be here, and we're going to revel in it. For the rest of today's video, we are going to revel in being the champions. We are going to revel in being the best team in the National Football League. And honestly, as soon as we're done reveling, we're going to talk about this team potentially being the next great dynasty, because it really could be. Get your merch right now for your championship stuff, because when you talk about reveling, really embracing what this team is, it's grabbing that championship merch. Look at that. We've got the black tee. We've got the navy tee champions. We got the head honcho on the right side as you look at, or on the left side as you look at your screen. We have the guy that no one believed in on the right side as you look at your screen. It's the mission over all of the other BS. I've got the mob mentality shirt on right now. We've got them in hoodies now. We've got the black hoodie. We've got the navy. Here's the thing. It's an entire collection, and the entire collection is going to be down below in the comment section of today's video. It's also going to be in the description of today's video. You just got to click that link, and it's going to take you to all the t-shirts that we have here at Chat Sports on your favorite squad. Look at how cool this is. You got the mascot. He's got the mob mentality himself, looking like Tony Soprano, man. That is so freaking cool in the black and in the navy. We have it all for you. All you got to do is click that link, chatsports.com/Seahawks60. Go pick yourself up some today. There is nothing better, in my opinion, than when you look at these tees. It's going to be the talk of the town, whether you got the hoodie or the t-shirt, man. I can't wait till mine comes in. Go grab yourself some today. If you love the fact that our Seahawks are the world champions, go like today's video, man. That is so freaking cool. This is why you support this team. This is why when you have the down years, you stick it out. This is why you don't move on to another team. Because we always knew that at some point, someday, our team would get back to being on top. What a special year for the fans of Seattle. Not just for the Seahawks, but also for the Mariners. I'm someone who dies with the PNW. I supported the Mariners, and it broke my heart that we weren't able to get to where we needed to be. But the fact that the Seahawks were able to pick back up right where the Mariners left it off at, and they were able to get to the Super Bowl and win this game, hit that thumbs up button, like the video, because that's how I feel. I can't stop liking videos. I can't stop watching all of the greatness that was this team. This is a special team. So hit that thumbs up button. We're going to have you covered all year long. But also show that you love this team and what we can do here on the channel. Here's our comp right now when you look at the two teams. The Patriots, yeah, okay, they had 4 less yards. It's all garbage time. It's all garbage time. It's all in the time when the game didn't matter. When the game was over. When no one cared. Because the Seahawks were up. I told you this game was done when A.J. Barter caught a touchdown. And my Aunt Ann, I love her so much. She texted me and she says, Will, you can't say that. You can't do that. Auntie, I knew it was done. This Patriots team was never going to score enough points. They were never going to score enough points. The time of possession clearly favored the Seahawks. And even though the Seahawks didn't get it done always scoring in the red zone, now they kicked a lot of field goals, but they didn't get into the end zone for scores, I knew that the Patriots weren't going to get there. You take away 2 crazy plays by Mac Hollins, the Patriots aren't even close in this game. Sam Darnold. Let's talk. Let's go on a soliloquy about Sam Darnold, and let's wax poetic about the greatness that he had. I understand it wasn't the best game. He had 38 passes in this game. He didn't even have 20 completions. He barely had 200 yards. He barely had a touchdown. It doesn't matter. Because when we needed him to come up with a big pass, a big completion, he did it. Everyone else doubted him. Everyone else said that he couldn't be this guy. We believed in him. John Schneider believed in him. John Schneider gave him a very favorable contract. We moved on from Geno Smith because we thought that Sam Darnold could come in and be a champion. We thought that Sam Darnold could do enough to get this squad where it needed to be. And look, I know I've been critical at times of Sam Darnold. I was wrong. When I was critical of Sam, I was wrong. I clearly came around the last couple of weeks, but Sam Darnold is why this team got to where they needed to be. This quarterback was not supposed to be, not elite. He wasn't supposed to be good. He wasn't supposed to be good. And this year, in my opinion, he was the best quarterback in the National Football League because he led his team to a Super Bowl victory. A.J. Barner. You know what I was told about A.J. Barner? A.J. Barner was supposed to be a guy that could only block. A.J. Barner coming out of Michigan, that's a blocking tight end. That isn't a guy who makes big plays. A.J. Barner has turned into the red zone target of Sam Darnold. He got a touchdown in this game, and it was so freaking awesome to see him do that. Why? Because A.J. Barner is a red zone menace, and he does the barn stop. He created it with a couple of his buddies just having fun. A.J. Barner is Seattle. How often are we, as Pacific Northwesterners, overlooked? Oh, it rains there. It's gray there all the time. You guys aren't supposed to be good. I just went through two guys, Sam Darnold and A.J. Barner. They're not supposed to be what they are, yet they were today. And it's Super Bowl champions. Cooper Kupp, man, this guy, he bleeds Washington. He is Washington. He grew up eating Miner Burger out in Yakima. He's probably gone to Campus Utotem in Ellensburg. He's the type of guy that eats at all of the hole-in-the-wall places that we know about. Because he is Washington. And yeah, I know a majority of his career was in LA with the Rams. Cool. When they wanted to try and force him to retire, remember, they tried to force him to retire. Cooper Kupp said, no, man, I still got some left in me. And when we needed him most, he was our best wide receiver today. He came up big in big moments. Cooper Kupp is special. JSN, man, he went against a guy in Christian Gonzalez that's a tough matchup. And in fact, I think JSN's stat line would have looked a lot better, but a couple of throws from Sam Darnold were just a little bit behind, and that gave Christian Gonzalez a chance to make some plays. JSN is special. And he's a guy who was supposed to be too small, Searle. He was supposed to be too slow to play on the edges. He wasn't supposed to be good enough to be where he was, but he is. He is. He's the best wide receiver in the league. He's the offensive player of the year. That's our guy. That's a guy who was overlooked again. And you want to talk about overlooked? The MVP of the Super Bowl. The guy who was the most important for this team. The guy who showed up when the offense couldn't get it going in the first half. Kenneth Walker. No one's had a better postseason than Kenneth Walker. No one. And I mean no one. Expected Kenneth Walker, after the season that he had and the last couple of years, frankly, expected him to explode to the point where he was what carried the Seahawks to a victory in Super Bowl 60. I thought that he'd have a good game. I did. I tweeted it out. I thought he'd have a good game. Didn't think he'd end up here. I did not think that he'd end up here. He was the best player on the field. When Zach Charbonnet went down with his injury, Kenneth Walker showed up and was the most important player for this team. I want Seattle to give him a blank check. Am I a prisoner of the moment? 100%. I'm 100% a prisoner of the moment. Blank check. Keep him in Seattle. The Patriots. The stat line is lying. It's a lying stat line to you because this game was over with 7 minutes left to play. Patriots got a ton of yards because the Seahawks were playing prevent because they didn't care. They did not care. Seahawks didn't need to care. Seahawks knew they were going to win this game. This game wasn't close. It was nowhere near close. So the fact that the Patriots think that they were even in this game is ridiculous. I want to ask you a question, though. I want to ask you, what your one-word reaction is after this game. I want to ask you how you feel, because this is what the 12s need to be. We need to sound off. We need to be loud. We need to be proud. You should be consuming all types of content when it comes to the Super Bowl. Most importantly, you should be consuming our content here on Chat Sports. What is your one-word reaction to this game by the Seahawks? Let me know down below in the comment section of today's video. I'll tell you right now, my one-word reaction was domination. The Seahawks team dominated the New England Patriots. We were the best team all year long, and we kept getting overlooked. Domination. Let me know what your one-word comment is down below in the comment section. Derek Hall, have a effing game, young blood. Have an effing game, sir. Derek Hall, 2 sacks in this game. They're both TFLs, and he causes a strip sack that leads to Byron Murphy making a big play. Derek Hall, the guy who was he gets some reps when DeMarcus Lawrence is tired. Derek Hall came up and made big plays in this game when it mattered most. Drake May was sacked more than any other quarterback in the National Football League in the postseason. Derek Hall made the most of his opportunities, man. Derek Hall made some big plays. Byron Murphy getting the fumble recovery when it was needed most, man. Byron Murphy getting into the backfield, making play after play after play. Byron Murphy, the guy who was disappointing in the first year when he was in Seattle, became an absolute star. An absolute star this season. He's so freaking special, man. Riley Mills, a guy who had to fight through the entire year coming off an ACL surgery, ends up finding a way to come away with an ability to help this team to get back out on the field. A guy that we didn't think might even play this year gets his first sack in Super Bowl 60. His first sack in Super Bowl 60, and he did it while he had an offensive lineman all draped over him. All draped over him. Riley Mills came up huge when we needed him most. The guy that I want to shout out the most, Uchenna Nwosu. And we're going to get his stat line up on the screen here in a moment, but I think it's even more so special to talk about him from a deeper perspective. Think about Uchenna Nwosu. Now, when you look at his stat line, it's not going to be awesome, but remember, he does have a touchdown in this game because of the fumble recovery. Uchenna Nwosu is a guy that Seattle talked about getting rid of because he was too injured. His last 2 seasons, he was talked about as, hey, we can't use him in Seattle. He was talked about as a guy that he was too beat up. I got a chance to sit down and talk to him during media availability over on Media Row, or during media availability for the Seahawks, excuse me. I've never had a more fun conversation with someone that I interviewed. He was so special tonight. And he proved to everyone this entire season long just how good of a player that he could be. And he proved to everyone that he was still a star in this league. I'm going to get to Devin Witherspoon here right now because of how big of a star he is. And obviously, he made 2 big plays for the Seahawks. After, I do want to get into the 2 older guys in Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence on the D-line. But Devin Witherspoon, I do have to make sure that I give a shout-out to him because he got this whole thing rocking early. He had multiple sacks in this game. He was locked down when balls were thrown his way. He got the ball away from the receivers of the Patriots. Devin Witherspoon is a special talent that no one can really relate to, and he's the one who forced that fumble that led to the touchdown for Uchenna Nwosu. Devin Witherspoon made a huge impact, and it's because he can do so many different things. No other corner would blitz the way that he does. DeMarcus Lawrence, he called his shot. He said that when he left Dallas, that Dallas was home, but he was leaving Dallas because he needed to have a shot to win a Super Bowl in his last year. When I talked to him during media availability, I asked specifically, I said, hey, DeMarcus, Mr. Lawrence, what does it mean to you to win a Super Bowl? And he goes through this whole thing about how he talks about his family, and it was really, honestly, it was really refreshing. It was really cool to hear him talk about his mom and his dad and what it would mean. But at the very end, he looked at me, and he said it. It would be a dream come true. It would be a fairy tale. And I'm so happy that you have a guy in DeMarcus Lawrence who called his shot at the beginning of the year with Hawk blogger Brian Nemhauser. Does a great job. And he said, I left Dallas because I didn't think I could win a Super Bowl. I think I can win a Super Bowl in Seattle. And he did so in his first year. But what's more special to me is the fact that he said it would be a dream come true. It would be beautiful to win a Super Bowl in Seattle. And that's so freaking awesome for a guy of his stature and his skill set. Leonard Williams. And here's who I want to kind of end off on when it comes with the Seahawks. Leonard Williams is a guy who's in his 11th year. He's been in Seattle now for a couple. And it's clear that he is the heartbeat of this team. He has the pulse of this team. It is clear to me that he is a star for this team and is going to continue to lead this Seahawks team to great things. But when I look at Leonard Williams and the season that he had and the year that he had, this team isn't able to do what they do without him. When you get pressure like that in the middle of this defense, you can stop anybody. You can destroy any team. You can be the best defense in the National Football League. And it wouldn't be possible without Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is the leader of this squad. Leonard Williams is what helps make this team great. Leonard Williams is why this team was able to bring a Super Bowl to Seattle. I don't mean to get quiet, but I feel like I have to make sure that I emphasize that point to the maximum. I feel like I have to make sure that I really show it out to y'all. Because the trade that John Schneider made to go get Leonard Williams is kind of what started the snowball effect of this team. And this is just the final version of it. But here's the thing. I don't think that this is the final version of it. Because I think that this team is going to be a dynasty. And that's why you subscribe to the channel. Because we have you covered on anything that is going to be happening with your Seattle Seahawks. We're going to have you covered on free agency. We're going to have you covered on the draft. We're going to have you covered on the entire offseason, just like we had you covered throughout this entire year. Most importantly, and look at me now, this is why you subscribe to the channel. Because we are a place in this country, in the Pacific Northwest, where we get overlooked all the time. Yet, in my opinion, we are the most beautiful part of this country. Anything that you could possibly want, they have it in the PNW. The Seahawks have that. The Seahawks epitomizes what the PNW is. It's a bunch of guys who are cast-offs, who are too old, too young, too many problems, not good enough, saw ghosts, whatever you want to insert. This Seahawks team wasn't supposed to be it, and yet they were. And they can continue to be this type of team as the year goes on, as the years go on. Because while there are a couple older players, most of this team is really young. And the Seahawks have the fifth most salary cap space when it comes to this next offseason. So guys like Kenneth Walker, Rashid Shaheed, Reek Wolin, they can all be re-signed. Boye Mafe, all re-signed. We can go into the draft. We have a decent amount of draft capital, but we could trade that around. Josh Schneider's known to do that and get good picks. Mike Macdonald is 38. He's the second youngest coach of all time to win a Super Bowl. This team's going to be here for a damn long time. And unfortunately, Clint Kubiak has announced that he is going to take that Las Vegas Raiders job. He will not be in Seattle next season. That's okay. You know why? Because Mike Macdonald had an OC last year that helped this team win 10 games. You were a double-digit win team in Seattle. And they won more than enough games to make you believe, hey, they might keep their OC, but they didn't. And Macdonald moved on to Clint Kubiak, who the NFL, Stacey Dales, apologize if I got her name wrong. This is a tweet that they just put out. And we found out that Clint Kubiak is officially going to be the Las Vegas Raiders head coach, right? We know that now. I think we kind of already knew that a couple of weeks ago, but it's officially official now. And while I think that some people might be upset about that, and I think that some people might look at me or look at Searle or look at Mitch over at our Raiders channel and say, well, where do we go from here? It doesn't matter because Mike Macdonald is going to find the right guy, whether it's someone who's on staff or someone new. I trust him. I think he's going to get us where we need to be. I think he's 100% going to get us where we need to be. I'm sorry that Kubiak's going. I'm glad that you won us our Super Bowl. Shout out to you. Subscribe to the channel. Become one of the real ones of Seahawks Today. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for viewing today's video. We are going to be back every single day. Promise. It's a grind. But man, that is so freaking cool. Shout out to the Seahawks. I hope you guys all have a safe and fun, responsible time when you're celebrating this victory. I cannot wait to see you guys next time.